Hey, welcome to episode of Beers, Jack of Barbecue. Check out our tri-tip. Hey, I'm Craig, the man behind the camera is Jack. Today, got a tri-tip. So order one from Porter Road. Order a few things from there, so we'll show them in some future cooks. But not something we get here regularly around Pennsylvania. I did find one butcher that carries them here and there. It was pretty small. This one's about 2 pounds, and I don't know if that's average or it's just under 2 pounds. But it looks pretty nice and marbled, so looking forward to doing it. Hit it about 2 hours ago with Patriots Tex-Mex Habanero seasoning. Used this before on pork, never on beef, but thought I'd give it a try. Add a little heat to this and maybe a little bit of flavor, but this meat probably doesn't need a whole lot, so I didn't go heavy on it, just a nice little coating on it. So we're gonna do this on the SNS Kettle today. Gonna go indirect until it gets to probably about 80, then flip it, then figure out maybe 110 and then sear it off, because like I said, we like the low end and medium rare, so maybe 115, but we'll want it to finish around 125. So looking forward to having this cut of beef. We only did one before and it was very good, so see you on the SNS. All right, we're gonna throw this on. I just put the meter plus probe in. We're gonna keep this probe for temp. I have the grill running around 280 or so. It was shooting for 250, but it got a little higher on me because I had more of the coals lit than normal, but that's all right. We're just gonna let this hang out till it gets about 80, turn it over to promote even cooking, and then take it off and get the grill fired up for the sear. See you in a little while. All right, we just hit 80 degrees. Ooh, take a look at it, just flip it over. Looks good yet? All right, we'll be back when it gets to about 105, 110, maybe 115. All right, we just hit 112. I just want to kind of do a double check before we get a little further along here. It's like 115 in that spot, so it's in the 120s there, but 113, so this is right on. So I just opened up the vents on this. I'm going to pull this off and we're going to let the coals get nice and hot, and then we'll just do a quick sear on the both sides, and that'll be it. So we'll bring you back when we start searing. One thing I like to do once I get the reverse side done and I want to get the grill warmed up quicker, got some bellows here, just get some air into this thing. Kind of brings the fire up even a little quicker than just kind of waiting for it. All right, we're gonna start searing it off. I do have to admit, this was just only sitting over there. Boy, it was smelling nice. It's gonna do about a minute. It's not a whole lot of fat on this other side. Probably sear pretty quick over there, but we'll see how it works out. All right, that's about a minute. There's some good action happening there. Yep, got a little bit of a char on there, but that's all right. It's gonna be good. This is the fat side, so I'm gonna really pay attention to this one. I probably won't let it on quite as long. It's only been about 30 seconds, but I wanna take a peek at it. I think we're gonna let it go at that. Nice little char on that fat, but that's gonna taste good with that rub on there. So we're gonna take this over the cutting board, let it rest for about 5 minutes, and we'll see you soon. As always, cheers. So here we are, end of the cook. Did a tri-tip on the SNS Kettle with Patriots Tex-Mex Habanero seasoning. It's actually, when this was resting, it smelled fantastic. When I kind of wrapped it in aluminum foil while I was sitting before we went back for the sear. When I had to open it up again, it was like, wow, that smell just came out. It was incredible. We'll have a link in our comments for them. They got some good rubs. Can't wait to get into some of the salsas depending on how we show things, but tried a few of the products so far and everything's been great. But tri-tips from Porter Road. Seasoned it with a Tex-Mex seasoning about 2 hours before we cooked it. I didn't want to go crazy with it just because it has some heat in it. But it had the the kettle set up for indirect cooking. Had it running about 290 actually was what it was running at. Did the indirect side until it got to 80, flipped it. When it got to about 112, pulled it off, opened all the vents, saw me get the bellows out, kind of stoked the fire up real nice. Seared the one side for about a minute and the other side for even less than a minute because it charred pretty quick. So it was a nice real hot fire. So the grain's running kind of this way over on this side and then kind of this way over here. So I'm going to try to cut it on a little bit of an angle just so I can get a slice to see where we're at here. Oh, that looks nice. So I'm going to take a slice off the side for me to taste here. This is going to be good. So one thing I want to have tried to before, just super beefy flavor. And that little bit of heat and flavors coming through from that rub. So this is going to be a good one. Not a huge meal here, but we're going to have a good meal anyway. So hopefully you like what you're seeing. Subscribe to the channel. Click the little bell to get notifications. And we'll see you next time.